P finna give them what they want. Backpack full of that skunk. Baseline booming in the trunk. Whole block full of that funky shit. Kinfolk moving that dope again. This shit hitting like, big back bread in my toast again. Bitch come run me my orange. Back like 23 cousin. 45 hugging me cousin. Burning my energy cousin.
All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Target Talk. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Justin. I got Mike.
What up?
And we got a very special guest. We got Pierce Washington in the building, man. That was his single, "COUS." Very hard.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling good, living. I'm appreciative of, everything. It's been a lot of love in the city. Off of these last two singles and just in general, and I have not been pushing like really hard with promo or doing like 1,000 shows this year. So it's like, hey, that's great. I feel that. So
yeah. I mean, the music's hard, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm not even just gassing, like not just because you here, but that's like one of my favorite songs out right now.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
For sure.
Real.
That song's hard. Like, I hit Justin as soon as I heard it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, this is the one right here.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, man. Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate you coming out, man.
Thank y'all for having me.
Really been a long time coming.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think we hit you up about this, like, what was that, like, in October last year or something?
Yeah.
I mean, the time is right now, though.
Yeah,
it's all about time. So.
Absolutely, man. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
I always say this. It's either an easy question or a hard question, depending on you and depending what your answer is.
Right.
For those who haven't tapped into you yet, who is Pierce Washington?
I see what you did there. I see why you
Exactly.
preface it with that. Pierce Washington is a musician. He's an artist. He respects the art first. And all in all, he's just like you. Day to day, going through life, I just have the creative gift to put that on instrumentation and deliver it for people to feel, rather than for people to, go and dissect and da-da-da. It's for you to feel. Take it with you. Connect it to your life, because it's just me sharing mine. You know what I'm saying? So that's I'm the homie.
Okay. Yeah. Well put, man. Well put. How would you describe your sound, though?
My sound changes quite often. Like in 2018, my sound was very like bubblegum hip hop, like almost like very early Monty Booker, Smino production, very pop, like but like heavy bass, and now we're rapping, like, and then it went to like, oh, I need some soul chops, and then it was, I think my sound is a reflection of how I'm feeling. So like the recent music sounds different than like the Past Due album or the Remedies EP. Like, it sounds way different than those, and those two sound different from each other. It's just a reflection of where my creativity, where my mind is at. So right now it's very much rooted in some type of mix between neo soul and very southern gospel type instruments and 3-6 Mafia and 808s. Like, it's in there. So yeah, that's where it's at currently, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just say your sound just depends on where you at in life.
Absolutely. Whatever the soundtrack of life is for me at the moment, that's what the music is gonna reflect.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, let's go back. Let's take it to the very beginning of Pierce Washington's life, man. Musically, what do you remember most about where you grew up, or just where you grew up? Period.
So I grew up all over the place. I was born in Virginia. At like 1, almost 2, we took that road trip to Dallas. We were between Arlington. We were in Wilmer Hutchins. We were spent a lot of time in Oak Cliff. We were just middle school, South Dallas, but also in Lancaster, and then just all over the place. And we were always in the car because of that. Like, we were always in the car. Summers, always in the car. AC didn't always work, but what always worked was the CD player. And we always had CDs. Like, my parents completely, like, emasculated early 2000s R&B, like on the Ashantis and Ja Rules and even Timbaland to a certain extent. A lot of that Pharrell client, they took that and they were like, neo soul is what real music is. You know what I'm saying? We're listening to Mama's Gun. We're listening to a lot of Voodoo, a lot of Jill Scott, Music Soul Child. Like, and to me, we're never listening to the radio. So to me, it's like, well, this is what music is right here. Yeah. And on the radio, the sound is completely different. Yeah. I mean, right. And what I had to reference that was 106 in Park. Mm-hmm. So I really liked what I heard on 106 in Park in terms of, like, let me study this so I know what to talk about at school. Because these kids don't know a deep cut on a Jill Scott album. Yeah. They don't know track 8 on Angie Stone. Because back then, all you had was the track number.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know the names of the songs. I just knew track 8 on this Angie Stone album is crazy. And no one knew it. And that, for me, when it comes to production, my mind is always going to go there. Mm-hmm. It's always going to, those chord resolves and this and that, the drum patterns, how it was like kind of off kilter all the time. That's always going to sit well in my soul because that is what my brain was programmed to think was correct. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to somebody that's like, man, Ja Rule and Ashanti ruled the world for a minute. Like, DMX, I mean, you know what I'm saying? All of that I didn't hear it until I was like 16. I was like, okay, this is cool. Yeah. this is cool. Yeah. Like, I'm stepping out. Okay. Yeah. This is dope, I guess. Yeah. But, I mean, it's not that other stuff. It's not track 8. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I think because of that, even now, going to DJ events and stuff like that, when they get into that early 2000s, like, I'm just kind of like, this is cool. Like, I feel you. But,
yeah.
It don't hit you the same. You don't have that nostalgia.
It don't. I don't. Like, so it's a huge gap in nostalgia for me because though I know of it, I so didn't care about it because my parents didn't. Yeah. And they told me I should not care about it by way of giving me other music. Yeah. And so even now I'm just like, I missed a lot. I really did. Yeah. And it makes me go back and look at stuff. And even now I'm like, I missed it. I didn't miss that much. It was cool. I think Pharrell, amazing. He made the same song 150 times and put different voices on it. People really fucked with it. Yeah. I fuck with the song. I love that song. Yeah. 150 times. I love it. Yeah. But, like, I didn't miss a lot. You can almost predict how it's gonna sound, and that's why people are remaking it now. So,
that's crazy. you just kind of blew my mind right there. But I mean, you get that from when you just listen to what you have.
Yeah.
You know, so there wasn't ever a time where you tuned into 106 in Park and you were like, "I need this, Mom. Can we play this?"
So the first time it was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go get this because this is different.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we're in the South. Everybody figured out how to get to Lil Wayne. Everybody figured it out. Like, if you were in like a super churchy family that never listened to it, you figured out how to get that Wayne. So, and my dad is from Louisiana, so of course we listen to Wayne. He really loved Scarface when he moved to Texas. And he was a Hove fan because Biggie and Tupac were not in the picture. That's what he says to this day.
That's all I got.
He was like, look, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Because I respect Jay-Z's pen. Not the hugest fan.
Yeah.
I respect his pen. I respect everything he's done. I respect all of them #1 albums. All that. Not the hugest fan of his music.
Yeah.
But like, I think what made me be like, okay, I need to get this, it had to be Late Registration.
Okay.
Had to be. Late Registration, I think there was 2 albums that I had to have on repeat at that time. I mean, Late Registration and I believe an Avant album.
Okay.
What is a child? I mean, an Avant album in the Walkman.
Yeah.
And to me at that time, I had never heard somebody put together an album with all these skits, and the skits made sense. And they went into the music, and what he was talking about like was cohesive and da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh my God, this is the magnum opus of music. Like this, it doesn't get any better than Kanye West's Late Registration. Like there's nothing. And for a moment, it was indeed like it was that, the Carter 3 and like Hurricane by Eric Benet. Deep cut. Hurricane by Eric Benet. Those 3 albums was like, this is music. There's no better music than this, and I don't want to hear anyone say anything about it. So, yeah, Late Registration, and then, Graduation was like, okay, we're like we're this Kanye guy, he's the one. And then 808s came, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. And I feel like if I was more in tune with what was going on mainstream, I would have understood it better. But I didn't.
I think a lot of people didn't understand that at that time.
He was changing the tide.
Yeah, it wasn't just you.
Yeah, no, for sure. He was changing the tide. It was crazy.
Yeah.
He's done that a few times. And, not too much with the pumping up Kanye, but
I mean, there's definitely a stopping point.
There's indeed a hard stopping point. But yeah, like just on that, he was. I mean, Wayne was a regional thing, but he was the first one to really like cut through all of that. Like, listen to this. This is what's going on. And I think the only reason my mom was cool with it was because Ray was out. Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay.
Gold Digger. I said, it's the one with the Jamie Foxx song on it.
Yeah.
She said, oh yeah, I like what he did there. Yeah. Boom. And when she listened, she got to crack music and lost her mind. Still to this day, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. I mean, this guy, man, there was a time.
Yeah. Sure.
There was a time.
Yeah.
There was a time. So yeah, I'd say that was the first album where I was like, yeah, I got it
For sure.
So
I think that's something that's kind of overlooked about just the CD era is we all pretty much just listen to what we wanted to listen to. You know, that was before social media and everybody was like, "This is what's cool. Y'all need to listen to this." We just went to the store, bought CDs we liked, and listened to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when they made it easy for you to like, because I still wish that I could pull up to a barbershop.
Yeah.
Get 30. I mean, they were selling Gucci Mane mixtapes that were burnt onto a CD like it was. Man, they pulled up every week.
Right.
With a new Gucci. I mean, Flocka Durant.
Yeah.
I would do Flocka Durant. I was getting a haircut. They ran in with that like, I got them. They went and printed the
They
little
got the
label.
little-
They put it in
yeah.
there. I was like, man, we might need to get that. In the car, bow, 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 just for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What a time.
Yeah.
It was lit. I mean, it was a great time. And then SoundCloud came and it was over.
Yeah.
It was done.
Yeah.
But, same premise. I mean, you could listen to whatever you want and probably more so there.
Yeah.
Sick. But, yeah, man.
I think it's something about, spending your money on something and then actually taking the time to listen to it. Because I think now,
Better.
when you stream, you can just be like, all right, I'm on to the next one.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
skip.
I paid $12.99 for this.
Dude.
I'm about to read the credits. I'm about to listen.
Here.
Yeah.
I know who played bass on track 4.
Exactly.
That's how into it and I feel that. And that's how I feel with vinyls today.
Yeah.
If I took the time to buy this vinyl a new one is going for $40. I'm gonna sit up and I'm gonna look at the pictures you took and
Right.
I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna look. Wow, that is a nice gradient on the. Look at that. So I'm definitely gonna do that, and I think vinyl is kind of bringing that aspect of it back with how popular it's getting again. But yeah, man, it was nothing like it. You know, man, what was the spot? It was a spot. They did all types of music stuff. I think it was FYE.
Oh, yeah, FYE. For Your Entertainment?
I believe so. It was like a guitar pick that was orange and blue. Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was like you can only find those in like, I don't know, Grapevine Mills or something. Like somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I go up in there and be like, man, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. I'm going to sit up and I'm going to read to make sure that my $15 that I have goes to something worth it. So yeah, man. I mean, it was nothing like that.
Yeah.
That was definitely a good time, man. Now it's just
What?
here we are.
Yeah.
Scrolling, man.
Who dropped today?
What's coming out today?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, oh, this is popping. Why? Like,
That'd be the big question.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into you, man. Specifically,
Yeah.
when did you really start to know like you wanted to make music?
I think music was always like a part of me. Like I was a kid. I was a theater kid really young.
Okay.
Forced into it. I wanted to play sports, but I wasn't necessarily good at sports because I didn't care. And I got pushed into choir, and my choir teacher pushed me into theater. And it was like, okay. I mean, I'm acting. I was never thinking about acting. I never had to think about any of it, like singing, acting, this and that. She just kind of told me what to do, and it wasn't until like 2 years later I realized like I was the lead of the plays, like the Christmas play. I was Santa Claus and like surfing Santa Claus. I mean, whatever, I'm in the crowd, like talking to people, got the outfit, and it just came natural. But in my mind, all my friends are hooping.
Yeah.
I'm a hooper because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We hoop. And so I was like, when I got to that age where it's like, I'm too cool for this. I left it alone. And I think middle school, once again, not able to play sports. So I'm sitting in there with the choir and I get thrown into that. I was like, it's cool. I'm like, they keep saying I'm good at it, whatever. And then it was high school. High school, I went from middle school in South Dallas to a private school in Addison.
Okay.
And I was there initially on like scholarship because they thought like I had a friend that came from the school with me and he went on to play college ball and they just was like, this is a package deal. These guys are gonna take us to a championship. Like these two guys from the South Side, like they're hoopers. Mm-hmm. And me, I didn't care. Like we were just at a school full of hoopers. Like everybody was really good comparatively. So they, they brought us over. They made sure our bus route was good, and they paid for the tuition and paid for food and gave us a little stipend when we was on trips and just crazy. So, it was also a shock though, pulling up at 13, 14 and seeing a 15-year-old driving a G-Wagon to school because they're learning how to drive. what? It's like, yeah, this is mom's right now, but later, I'll get my own. I don't even like this color. Like, what?
That's crazy.
So it was crazy for me to digest that. I'm like, what is going on? So I got into a lot of trouble. I mean, fights, taking people's money, like, trying to keep up with it. Like how, and eventually I got into enough trouble to where I'm like, okay, let me just sit down and do something. So I downloaded Magic's Music Maker.
Okay.
That's something that they teach kids about, like production in like middle school, and I remember that. So I got that. I'm making beats in class, just finding royalty-free loops. And then after that, I get Fruity Loops, and now I'm like, playing with that, as well as like Logic and just everything. I'm trying to learn everything, Reason, just random stuff. And I think one day I made a beat for a rap beef amongst schools.
Okay.
Made a beat for a rap beef. They go back and forth 3 times, whatever. And on the opposite side's last song, because I was making beats for both sides.
Oh, you were playing both sides.
I was playing both sides because I
Okay.
was just trying to get the beats off. You know what I'm saying? I got all these beats that I made in Spanish class. Why not?
If y'all want them, we can.
So the guy, I sent him a beat. He don't respond. Comes through with another beat and says at the end, I just went with this other guy because he makes better beats. And that's what he said in this. And thinking back, it's so funny. But my friend was like, you got to get on the record. You got to. I'm like, right, this is not my thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I wrote a lot of poetry. I'm like, all right, whatever. Make the beat. Write my verse. In the verse with a gunshot sound. And at the end, it's like, the second part gonna get even crazier. So I go back. I'm coming up. The second song was called The Funeral. I'm cooking up something diabolical.
Okay.
Like I'm just.
Yeah.
The second song never came out because the first one, we put it on, I think, Twitter. People were calling me. Why'd you say that about da-da-da? There were no more rap songs. They pulled up. Like they drove from their school across town. They came up trying to fight.
Yeah.
They were football prospects. They had scouts at their practice. They were about to throw away everything. And my football coach comes to me, and everybody's in trouble, whatever. I mean, because we were about to brawl. People had weapons. Like it was time.
Yeah.
Pulls me into the office. He was like, well, on the bright side, you said something on a track that made somebody so mad that they got a restraining order put on them at a school. Like, that's how upset you made them with your words. I was like, there's something to that.
Yeah.
Right in the studio, we're making a EP. Boom. First song on SoundCloud. It's doing well. I'm thinking like, oh, okay, cool. And from there, it was like, oh, yeah, this is what we do now. There is nothing else because the rush and the reaction, like the joy that I got was amazing, but the reaction from other people of a 16-bar verse written during lunch just mad because someone said they didn't like my beats. That moved enough people to where they were willing to like change the trajectory of how their month went at least. Like they were totally fine with that as long as they got their get back. Yeah. So that just put it into perspective like, you know what? Maybe there is something to that. Yeah. So I think at that point I really started like, okay, this is what I do. And I took a break, came back 2022, and I'm like, okay, this is a career for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I took like a mean break though, very long break, 5-6 years, but was always producing, always sticking with it. But yeah, I was trying to develop that professional career more than anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I need the money.
Yeah.
I can't. I need the money. Yeah. So yeah, man. But once that came and more inspiration came, man, it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what was the inspiration that got you back into it in 2022?
I had been making an album that I produced 175 songs wrote at least to 150 of them.
So you was always writing during
Yeah.
that break.
Oh, okay.
My hard drive in the computer died. Every last one of those songs, poof,
Oh,
smoke.
oh,
And in that moment, I was like, okay. And I was about to move home, so it was like, okay, let me see what's going on with like the production client out here, who's rapping, what's going on. I've been away for 5-6 years. What's up? And yeah, when I came back, I went to a John Doe show and saw him and No ID and Kwame for the first time, and I'm checking that out. I'm like, okay, there's a vibe in the city that I can really resonate with.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to the vibe that I'm on. So I'm like, you know what? I think we got I think we can compete here. I think my biggest thing was I come back and everybody is just like, it's like going to LA. Everybody's on the verge of it, everybody da. And I came home and everybody was like really it was a work ethic going on. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? Let's take that, multiply it by 50, and just go as hard as you can. Don't sleep. Go. So that's what I did. But coming home and seeing like the level of rap, it really put a battery in my back on top of losing everything that I had, just kind of procrastinating and waiting. And maybe this is not the right time. I was like, man, you got the songs, you got the music, you got the concept. Go.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So, yeah.
You reacted the right way, because some people would let that happen and then be like, you know what? Maybe I ain't gonna rap.
it's
no
not
more.
meant to be,
Music
man.
ain't for me though.
Man, it was a wake-up call. Like, man, something got to change.
Yeah.
You can't keep just sitting on stuff like, oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Do it today and make it great, like you've been taking 10 years.
Yeah.
Make it better than what somebody else would take 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep that in mind. And, man, it turned me into an insane person when it came to the work that comes with the music.
Yeah.
And you gotta be insane. You gotta be delusional. You gotta, for it to eventually work for real, you gotta have that. So, yeah, man, I'm glad that it put that battery in my back.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
Well, let's talk about your last album, man.
Yeah.
Past Due.
Yeah,
Great album.
I appreciate it.
Once again, we're not just saying that because you're here. We actually believe that, man.
Yeah.
So you came back 2022, dropped the album 2023, man.
Yeah.
What was it like working on that album at that time, man?
I think I was extremely nervous because it had been so long since I had released music. And coming back into the city, people didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? People didn't even know anything. I mean, I was taking down old music. It was just clean slate. And I don't know, I think making that album was a testament to me trusting myself with sound palette, who to put on certain records, being confident in what I wanted to say, how I wanted to get it across, and being in that for like 4 months. I came back, and within 4 months, that first run of the album, done. Like, came back, got with Michael Ferguson. We got in the studio. I mean, I met Sway Jetson, Nojo Wallace. Like, I met all of these people. And to this day, you know what I'm saying? Those are my guys. You know what I'm saying? To this day. And I still collaborate with those guys. You know what I'm saying? Those are my brothers. And just being in that environment with them, it was like we were in a dungeon, just knocking out 3-4 songs a day and coming up with even more ideas, more beats, and we're just doing it. Coming up with, maybe if we did, just everybody's creativity was just at a crazy peak at the time, and we're just going. So, yeah, I think that first run was easy. The deluxe, was even easier. I think making the music after studying the people that were on it, because I really wanted it to be like, look, I want like 8 to 10 songs where we just put the entire city on here and just go nuts. And that's what we're able to do. And I mean, it was just a blessing that everybody showed so much love. Like, to be like, okay, this guy, like a year and a half, he's been kind of in the back of my ear, you know, like, who is this guy? But the way everybody showed up and showed so much love to get on there and, you know, really give a solid run, like, and rap for real. You know what I'm saying? And really get in there and do what they do best on that track. It was a beautiful thing to see and to get to perform with all these guys. Like, it was live, man. So shout out to every last one of them.
It's great, man. Yeah. Well, you also dropped Remedies.
Yeah.
EP, man, with Burm last year, man.
Shout out to my dog, man. Shout out Burm.
How did that one come together? How did you get Burm on there?
I think that came together in the most, like, damn, we love hip hop type way. Like, I think Mick Jenkins went live. He was he was on live just playing unreleased music. And he had a song, I believe, with Green Slime that was produced by Burm. And they're just running it. I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Burm is like, he either reposted or comments on it or something. Like, he enters the chat in some way. I click. I'm looking at his page, and I'm like, man, he might not be working with many people. Like, what the hell? What is what is going on? Like, it's been a minute since he dropped. Like, the hell is going on? So I hit him, like, bro, this is crazy. What you got is crazy. If you got any bitches, you let me know. Saying prices, we get into it, man, for real. I think he started sending me music on like a Sunday. Saturday we had like 4 songs. Like 7 day, 4 songs is done, and I think maybe 3 of those ended up on Remedies. I think Remedies, it was supposed to be 4 EPs. We finished 3 of them. And then looked at it like, we just need to take the best ones out of all of these, drop a 7, and that will be, you know, because we got crazy. Like, we had experimental stuff and this and that. But, man, it was so natural. I would send stuff, and he'd be like, we cooking. Then he'll send something else. And be like, all right, now you could, like, let me get in the studio tonight. You know, we did that back and forth, and then at a certain point, it was just like, we good. We had a deluxe ready to go. We had a part 2. I mean, just, we were making music so frequently at the time. It was just like, whatever. And then I think after that, he realized, like, oh, you be producing too. Because I started changing certain stuff. He was like, let's get some placement. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get some, like, let's really, you know. And when I took the tour out to Nashville, I was just riding around with bro like all day, and he DJ'd the show, and we ran Remedies top to bottom at the show. And crazy. I mean, I think Nashville was one of the spots where the turnout wasn't exactly what, you know what I'm saying, we'd hoped. But with the people that were there, the love in that building was crazy. And to be able to run that project top to bottom with us the way we did, like, I mean, if you look at videos that people took from that, it's like I'm just kind of calm. No band, no, not just me, a mic, Burman's in the back. You know what I'm saying? He's spinning, and I'm going, I'm looking at him. We are talking in the middle of it. it was like, oh, they for sure made this. Like you can tell, like very familiar with it. But yeah, man, to say that was the first time we met in the flesh, it was like running up on a homie that you hadn't seen in 10 years and y'all just don't miss a beat, you know? So yeah, it was great, man. Shout out to Burm. That came together so organically, and the fact that it was done in like 12 days, like what came out, done in 12 days. Very quick. I mean,
crazy turnaround.
I mean, very fast. And it was just like, and it didn't settle in until like maybe a month later, like, oh, this is good. We like this a lot. So, yeah, man, shout out to Remedies. That was probably the most organic project I've ever worked on to date. Yeah.
So as a producer yourself, what's it like locking in with just one producer for a whole project?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is liking their style of production. Yeah. I think I'm a student first. And so if I'm a student and I pull up on somebody that like is not a student and they're kind of just piecing whatever together, and it like sometimes it comes out great, but it's by chance. You know what I'm saying? I need a scientist to work with because that's how I am. You know, sometimes you get a sample and the sample is fine. We don't gotta touch it. But sometimes you gotta cut that joint into 16th notes and J Dilla that bitch. Like you gotta take it somewhere and reorganize the whole construction, take the bass out and put it back. You know what I'm saying? All of that. I need somebody that's down to rock like that. And Burm is such a nerd when it comes to chops. He chops like a DJ and not like a producer. And that gives him a crazy leg up because producers chop stuff off for the feel, for the reaction. If I chop this here, they're going to change their whole mood and start dancing. That's what he keeps in mind when he chops. He chops like a DJ. I chop like a mad scientist. I might hear a half a 16th note in the back of the, and I'll be like, yeah, let's do that. Let's just loop that. Be like, what? Yeah, we're going to put some in, but let's just do that. And he's just like, we need to feel like da-da-da. So for both of us to be able to do that, it's like you're doing this that my brain don't work that way, and I'm doing this. It fit together like a puzzle, and it was like, okay, we got it. Like it is solid. So I know with him, it's easy. A lot of producers I clash with, like a lot. So that's why I produce a lot of my stuff. Yeah. But right now, the production client, the people that I'm working with on the production end, they all do something different, bring something different to the table, and they're musicians first. They are scientists first, and I think that works with me because it's like they're like, man, just send me a acapella, and I'm finna turn you into a squirrel, and the squirrel is gonna run into the sunset over jazz, and that's the track. It's like, okay, and it's fire though. Yeah. And I mean, I'm working with people. Kurtie Pandy in New York, we've been working a lot. Like recently, he's crazy. Works with Wiseboy Jeremy, Uncle John. Shout out to Wakai. I don't know if y'all have heard of Wakai. He's out in Baton Rouge, solid. I think him and his homies, a group Cul-de-sac, Josh Simmons and Ron Day and a few other guys, like they put me on to all of these producers when I was out in New Orleans for a stint in February for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I was out there for a month, almost a month, yeah. And we just chopping it up, going to studios. I mean, man, and just meeting these musicians that are like, yeah, we are invested in what you got going on. It's like, that's a blessing. So I think working with other producers now, with that, it's a piece of cake. I trust them. I think that's the biggest thing. I trust them.
Yeah.
So, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of working with other producers, you dropped Mama NEM last month. Yeah. How'd that song come together?
So Mama NEM was the music was on a completely different like wave of what the song was supposed to be.
Okay.
The song was initially, can I say that? I can. The song was initially over something that Madlib composed.
Okay.
And I chopped a Madlib composition. So I got a pack of Madlib compositions that all got cleared. Shout out to Madlib.
That's fire.
That's
I mean, so I was like, I'm finna just do a whole tape and just say it's me and Madlib, and I'm gonna send it in the, like, hey,
I would do that.
that would be great, right? Yeah. But after hearing what he had to say about it, because I sent him the track, and he was like, this is fire.
Yeah.
But, like, it's gonna be crazy. Like, when we get through publishing and this and that and da-da-da, we do all of that, like, you're a smaller artist. The publishing is going to try to kill you. Okay? They're going to try to get you up out of here. But then at the same time, I think his biggest thing is it takes away from the genuine piece of it. Like if me and him were in a studio chopping stuff up, we're running that, this and that, it's a different thing. But this guy is just emailing him stuff that he flipped and put out into the world for him to clear it. And like to then slap his name on it because he said it's cleared is insane. You know what I'm saying? And it takes away the genuine piece of the art.
Yeah.
And I think that was his biggest thing when I pitched it. But it was 2 songs that he was like, hell yeah. Like, hell yeah. I will co-sign this. I was like, all right, cool. One of them was Mama NEM and the other one was one that's coming out on the EP.
Okay.
Mama NEM, I met Luke McKenzie, that was the guy that produced Mama NEM. Like just through mutual people. And man, like I started rapping Mama NEM over that beat. I said, man, this is just, the feel is so much better. Like this feels like what I want to convey. And so I scrapped the Madlib flip and we went with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Create, the guy that made like the composition, I'm talking like that guy is a musician. Like he sits up and he makes the samples. Mm-hmm. He gets in there with whatever instrument, whatever. Luke, he's a true like scientist when it comes to chopping, like a producer and getting the feel out of that. And he is a wizard on the drums. Just crazy. I mean, and all of these people are like jazz militant. Like they love jazz, love chopping jazz, love making jazz. And that's just kind of where my head is at right now. So being able to lock in with them, it just felt truer for it to come out on that beat in the way it did because it was supernatural. When he sent that beat, I think I had Mama NEM ready like a couple days later, changed the second verse, added the bridge. I mean, because all I had was that first 8 bars. That's the only thing that stayed from the original Mama NEM.
Okay.
But man, shout out to it because I think that opened up a door for like, this is almost like a dreamy type jazz soul type thing, like with very fast drums with very slow song. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a vibe though. It's cool. So yeah, man, I love that song. I love that song for sure.
Yeah. Well, good song. Also dropped COUS.
Yeah.
Like we played it at the beginning, man.
Yeah.
So, and you produced that yourself.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if y'all like into wrestling at all, but I was watching. I had gotten into wrestling like, or back into it when like I want to say like 2 years ago.
Bro,
It's like,
Yeah.
like
Same
stuff is going through the roof right now.
Yeah.
I gotta tune in. Like what's happening? So I think I was watching something to do with the Bloodline story.
Yeah.
It might have been this past War Games where they had to get back together to then fight whoever the hell they were fighting. But I know CM Punk was with them and da da da. Like it was a whole thing. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm watching that, and it's just so weird how wrestling and rap have this weird like relationship. You look at West Side Gun, or even locally, you look at like Hendo.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hendrix loves rap. Like he breathes that for sure, and you hear it in his raps. West Side Gun breathes. Like he loves that. You can hear it in his raps, and it's a certain aggression, like in the punches, but it's also a certain calmness. And it's just like, dang, that's so a part of wrestling. So I'm watching wrestling. In the back of my mind, I'm like, man, they are in there. They are mixing right now.
Yeah.
It's like, and they call it kayfabe, like the, you know what I'm saying, keeping the
kayfabe
yeah, keeping the
alive.
Yeah.
It was times where like, cause now CM Punk, he'll break kayfabe and just start whooping ass. Like he'll start fighting. Same with Seth Rollins and all. Like they'll start mixing for real.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like this. And I think it might have been a time where they was just mixing. They was getting down. And I was like, you know what? Man, I got the computer up and the drums came as I'm watching it. I'm not even looking at it. And before I knew it, the whole beat was there. Like just, I'm like, oh, okay, this is thumping. And then I'm like, you know, it'd be crazy because of this bounce. Let's do like 2 seconds of 3-6 Mafia. Okay, let's do it. And when that came, I'm like, yeah, I love this. I'm looking at this bloodline story. Let's talk about like cousins who might seem beefed out, but not really. They love each other, but like one of them cousins be you know what I'm saying? Like what was really going on? And you know, I'm looking at Jacob Fatu, who is in there. He's you know their cousin.
Yeah.
Straight out the penitentiary. I mean, he reps his gang on SmackDown on USA Network.
Right.
He says on blood, and he means it.
Means it.
Yada da mean.
Yeah.
He means it. Okay. I'm just like, man, to be that dead serious. You know what I'm saying? To be that dead serious. Man, I feel like everybody got a cousin like that. Like, it's dead serious. And I just started writing it off of the energy that was in front of me. I mean, the Bloodline War at War Games is where that came from.
Okay.
And I knocked the whole thing out right there. I think that's the thing with me. It don't take me long to make a song if I believe in it and if the energy is there. So before the show was over with, we was good. You know what I'm saying? We might gotta go brush over some things, but man, it was done. Yeah, so
That's what's up.
shout out to wrestling, man. Shout out WWE.
Shout out WWE, man.
Triple H is in there writing his ass off.
Yeah, he
Oh,
going crazy.
Yeah.
How intentional was the contrast between dropping Mama NEM and then dropping COUS? You know, how intentional was that?
Very.
Yeah.
So I think on two sides of the spectrum, in a certain like Mama NEM could do really well with a like general crowd. I'm confident in like some children listening to Mama NEM and taking something from it. Like play Mama NEM in a coffee shop. Hell yeah. Play it on the radio. It's cool. Because play that at a day party.
Yeah.
Play it on the radio. Play it at a lit ass coffee shop. Whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I think because they are right next to each other on the EP.
Okay.
It is Mama NEM, then COUS.
Okay.
And if you listen to those two, like, back to back, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It flows. And I think it's both family. Talking about Mama NEM is a softer thing than talking about your cousin. It's two different things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it comes from the same place in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So they're definitely intertwined. And it's great that one hits like, oh, listen to this. And the other one is like, okay, like, let me, you know. So I love that. I love the contrast there. So, yeah, definitely intentional.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So speaking of this project, man,
Yeah.
what can you tell us about the project?
It's
EP, right?
Yeah, EP, 6 songs. Yeah, I got my first like full blown R&B song on there.
Okay.
Okay.
You tapping into that Pierce was in choir, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. The arranger. Like I'm trying to, background vocals on everything is pretty much myself. Lauren Santee on a few. Lauren Santee is the one that sang Blue Slides, Schoolboy Q.
Okay.
That's Lauren Santee. So shout out to Lauren Santee. Yeah. Her and Mario Luciano work really close together. Luciano he'll work with anybody that email him. I mean, he charges, but he'll work with anybody that email him. And I asked for like a pack. He sent me like 150 compositions. Man. That's how COUS came about, and that's how like two more tracks got like a little piece of the Luciano in there. But yeah, shout out to Lauren Santee. Shout out to Mario Luciano. We got Nojo Wallace is on there. And we are back and forth rapping over soul chops. I think that's gonna be fun. I can't wait for people to hear that. And yeah, it's good stuff. I think it's quick, like 15, 16 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy to listen to, but it's good raps, good production. I mean, it paints a world. So, yeah, I'm excited. Next month.
Okay.
Yeah, next month, like midway through, I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So
Any other singles leading to it, or you think you gonna let these live?
Nah, I think Mama NEM's reception was way different than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Way different. What people got from it was way different than what I thought. Yeah. And COUS's reception was what I had hoped, which is cool. I think those two, though, building on those and then being like, okay, boom, here is the complete body of work that comes with that. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough. I think those two would stand on their own as a 2-pack. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with that. We were going to do one more single, but if it's working, you know what I'm saying? Don't even change the algorithm. It's cool.
It's like you said, it's a quick project, so you don't want to give out like half the project before.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the thing now. People will put out the whole project and then just piece them together and be like, this was a project all time. Yeah. So, it's called the waterfall method. I'm cool off it. I think in projects. It's difficult for me to think in a single.
Yeah.
I don't pull from a place where I ain't never heard a D'Angelo single. What's a D'Angelo single?
I guess how does it feel? That's about it though.
That's all. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's not many that just be like, this is a single. I mean, even Badu. Like, you get a couple Lucy's here and there, but it's always like, I've been working on a body of work, and here it is. Like, it's mostly that. I mean, now you got to do singles, but back then it was like, that Badu dropping next week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Voodoo, it will be out. Got it. Like, boom. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was. Yeah. So I think in terms of that, I mean, even the blog era, they was dropping mixtape for mixtape. Mm-hmm. We got 18 songs, an hour and 15 of just, they're going hard. Yeah. Why a single? We got 10 more mixtapes in the tuck. We just doing it.
And then whatever took off from that mixtape, if it took off, that was the single.
That was the one, but right?
The whole tape was already out. So.
It was out. Yeah, I mean, I gave you everything. You know what I'm saying? If you like this one, cool. That's the one we'll tour. But so that's just how my brain works. It's moving in the direction of like, man, this single is good. Yeah. How do we make a project out of it? Like, I'm always thinking like that. So,
I think that also comes from like your background of just listening to CDs, right? Like you said, track 8, You know the name of the song.
Look, and if you didn't like track 7, you sure listen to it to get to track 8.
Yeah, for sure.
Because skipping was a cardinal sin at the time. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Just listen to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, all of that definitely pours into my approach for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, you headlined your own tour, man. Yeah. Proof of concept.
Absolutely.
What was that experience like, man? What's the tour experience looking like for you?
Not fun. I want to say my first 4 stops were amazing.
Okay.
My God, we kicked it off in Philly. And shout out to Rec Philly, Diamond Durant. She made sure that show was absolutely successful. She did her thing. I had no hand in how well that show did. Yeah. And that was like my first time being at a show. They printed out like all of these posters and this and that. Like I came in, I had like a little room with a mic and I could, a little speaker in there. I can mic check myself and it was cool. Afterwards, I'm trying to go to the back and sell merch. There's a line of people with the posters like, yo, can you sign this?
Okay.
Yeah, like let's do it. And then everybody left, and I didn't get to sell any merch. So lesson learned, right?
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, we did radio press. I mean, I was at the radio station out there, and someone casually was like, "Yeah, you going to the VMAs next week? Da da da. Like you come to the." Casually, yeah. I'm not, but like. For sure hit me next time, but I realized very fast, like, when you get immersed in the media and, like, what is going down in the city, if you are lucky enough to get into a crowd where someone has pull and they really have connections, stuff just be happening. Mm-hmm. It goes down like that, and you just got to be ready and open, So I think that was cool, leaving there, going to Baltimore, selling out Baltimore. And funny thing is, I lived in Baltimore for years. Only knew 3 people in the crowd.
Crazy.
And it sold out.
Okay. That's wild.
At first, I'm like, where are the people that I know? I'm like on the story, people. Like, what's up? Are y'all hate me? Like, what's going on? Do we need to talk? Yeah. We got a problem? And then I went in the back. I'm like freaking out. I go back out. Packed out. Nice. I mean, the homies was coming in as I was finishing, and they was like, man. I was like, yeah, bro, you couldn't even get a seat. Like, come on. So that was beautiful. It was a great time. Chicago, great stop. Love Chicago. They showed so much love. People that are from Dallas that migrated to Chicago came out to support. Okay. Which is crazy. Yeah. It was like 10 of them. And they knew the song. I was like, wow, okay.
That's dope.
Shout out to Chicago. That was great. Houston. Houston was interesting because we didn't sell it out until we started promising like sections. Oh. Move some couches. Instead of open space, we added tables and couches and da-da-da. And then people packed it.
That's Houston's vibe, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you just got to work with it. Houston was a shit show, man. I mean, I had to work the door, get...
That's already crazy, working the door.
My guy had to work the door.
Work the door, go get the flyers printed and set that up, set up the stage, work with the sound guy. Sound guy left. Don't know where the sound guy is. I'm in the back trying to figure out sound. When are we starting? No one is hosting. It's just all over the place. Shout out to Astronaut G because I'm out. Astronaut G, he comes out. He did the Dallas, Austin, and Houston shows. Lifesaver, shout out to that man. And shout out to this wonderful girl. She was doing tickets as I was like trying to do the tour. I'm trying to get ready at the hotel, this and that. People are getting ready. I mean, but by the time we like midway through the lineup, we got like 6 people on the lineup. It's a huge lineup.
Yeah.
And yeah, by the time we got to the end of that, it was just like, woo, people were there.
Yeah.
The seats were filled out. And once the person they came to see was done, they went out too. At the end, I had a very very intimate crowd. They had their flashlights and they was right there. Oh, we had a time. It's a good time, but the tickets were sold. People came. It was a good time.
That's what matters, right?
Stressful.
Yeah.
Cause just like we was talking about this earlier, all of that happened, and then G was like, "Yeah, all right. So what you want to open with? Like, you want to?" I was like, "Damn, I gotta perform. I gotta go on after everybody." And it was crazy, but yeah, Houston was great. I want to say Dallas was not my favorite stop.
Oh, okay.
No. The talent was amazing. The venue was RBC, which felt like such a full circle moment for any rapper in Dallas that was rapping at any point, like around the blog era. Like RBC was where people was rapping. You had open mic. RBC was jumping for rappers. Like you wanted to be in there. And then that just stopped for a long time. And I'm like, man, we gonna have it at RBC. It's finna be a thing. Like people gonna come back out because they remember when RBC was rapping. Like, I think we had not enough stage space, and like logistics kind of messed it up. We had a very big lineup. Making sure everybody was good. It was. Some people had bands, some people had DJs. We had Lexay, she had dancers. We had. It was a lot going on. It was so much, and I think looking back at it, it starts to feel like poorly curated, because it was just kind of like my idea was I want to represent the city, right? So I want to pull from places that just really represent how far this stretches, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of wanted it all over the place, and 2 different bands, and like all of this stuff, a DJ and a band. And then we had Hendo in there, like hosting, which he saved a lot of stuff by just going up there and doing that. So shout out to him. But yeah, man, I think I wish we could have done it different. I wish we could have done it better and in a more intimate setting, you know. And I think next time it will be that, like very intimate. And I want people to be right there, and maybe only 2 openers, and so they get enough time to catch a vibe with the crowd too. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think the idea and the excitement to do it was there, but the execution kind of took away from the moment. You know, I thought I was finna get up on that stage and start crying, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We did it and we back in the city, and it was just kind of like, oh my God. I am going at the, like, this was a lot tonight. It was a lot going on. We had like people sitting on the side and couches, and it was just a lot. And I was like, but learning experience, everything. The whole thing, super learning experience. I think, end of the day, I broke even. That's
beautiful.
A blessing.
Yeah.
Broke even and sold over 1,000 tickets, and I only broke even. That's the part that's like, well, how does it travel, paying talent? It's so much.
Yeah.
It's so much to make it happen. And even with getting all those tickets sold, all it did was give me a standpoint to be like, all right, hey, we did that, and we broke even with no sponsors. Now, if you want to sponsor and this and that, we do it, and we do a different route, and we can make everybody some money, you know? Yeah. Now we know how to do it, and we got people in places to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think my biggest thing from it was the learning experience of, next time, that's going to be the one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very grateful for it, though. Most stressful 4 months of life, but very grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Did you have a favorite city?
Chicago by a landslide.
Okay.
By a lot. Just because of how into it they were. I mean, I'm sitting there not knowing what I booked a hotel. The hotel had 4 French guys just in there, and it was bunk bed. I said, what the hell?
Wait,
What is this?
In the room with you?
Dude, it was like a shared space.
Oh.
Okay.
I said, what the hell? So I'm sleeping with my suitcase in a bunk bed with a little curtain. I'm just kind of like this.
Yeah.
Hey, I get up from that and then walk to the venue. I'm like, can y'all please, like, can everything go good here real quick? And, man, I did. I performed Suede by Anderson .Paak and Knowledge, like, as my warm-up the whole tour. Mm-hmm. So I could sing and rap and breathe and this and that. The sound guys are screaming at the top of their lungs, like, every single word. I could barely even hear my sound, like, but they were in it. I was like, oh, we got one tonight. Yeah. We got one tonight. And then when the people came in, I opened just with my own stuff. And, like, I do this thing in every show. Like, I say, as we proceed to give you what you need. Like, I say it a lot. So at the end, I say, as we proceed, and I hold out for a bit. And as people say it back, it's like, okay, I got them. Yeah. They were listening. I did that one time, like, after the first song. They had it. I mean, I did it after the second song. They sing it back. I was like, okay, this was cool. The crowd participation. I asked them to snap. Not only are they snapping, they're standing up and clapping. They are dancing. They are moving. It was cool.
Yeah.
When I did Suede, nuts. It was nuts, but just as nuts as me doing Loafers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as nuts as me switching up a beat and just freestyling for a second.
Yeah.
They were going crazy the whole time. And that let me know, like, okay, when I swing back, Chicago, y'all gonna have to see me multiple nights. Y'all gonna have to see me for a while. And we'll partner with people and make the shows different and da-da-da. But, yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So, love to Chicago. Absolute favorite stop. Okay. They were crazy out there. Yeah. And crazy about the music. Like, they were all for it.
That's got to be an amazing feeling, man.
Yeah. Dude, I think that was the show that I was about to cry at.
Yeah.
There in Philly.
Yeah.
Because seeing the people in Philly, I was in the crowd at the Philly show.
Yeah. And
the production around it, I was like, man, ain't no way.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to be like this all the way. And it wasn't. But it's like, this is a crazy starting point.
Yeah.
But Chicago, because I was having a bad day at Chicago.
Yeah.
But when we got to the show, I was like, man, thank y'all. I'm about to go to McDonald's up the street instead of going directly to the hotel with these Frenchmen.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they doing in there. Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
That's wild.
That's
so wild, bro.
Because I walked in, dude is just in there. I was like
he waiting for you?
I said, yo, like, are you, hey, what's good? He was like, he said something in French and pointed at a locker. It was 4 lockers to put your personal belongings. I said, what the hell kind of booking is this one? Who booked this?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Chicago is just a cheap stop. No. You were sharing that room. You were in a dorm, sir.
That's crazy.
And you have no idea what they were here for.
Yeah.
They was there for something. And whatever they was doing, they got it done. Mm-hmm. They were going gingerly at 3 a.m.
Okay.
Like, turned on the lights, packed up, talked loud, and left 3 a.m. I'm like, what the? I got a red eye in a couple of hours. I'm trying to get the rest of my sleep. They left. New fleet of people.
Oh.
3 a.m. Boop.
No.
I said, yeah, I got to go. I will sleep at the airport. I'm done.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, the show, oh my God. They were amazing. I didn't even bring any merch and nothing. They was like, man, what can we take with us to commit? I'm just like, don't worry about that. I'll be back. Yeah. I got y'all. So
You gotta stay in a different place.
Yeah,
though.
just
Gotta
make
find
sure,
a better place to stay.
Make sure you stay far away from that hotel.
I gotta get up out of there, man. I gotta get up out of there. That was crazy. Great location though, but insane.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure, man. Well, let's switch it to the Dallas scene, man.
Yeah.
First of all, how do you feel about the Dallas scene out here, man? The music and all that.
Music is really good. Like, I think there are a lot of artists doing really cool things. And I think with the talent level in Dallas, music ain't never been a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many talented artists out here. Like, that's never been an issue. So I got so much respect for so many of them. You know what I'm saying? I think I collaborate with a lot of them, some people that I haven't collaborated with that I want to. You know what I'm saying? And, I think now I'm just kind of like, the song got to tell me who to put on there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as things change, sometimes it's like, oh, well, we need to get like somebody complete, like, that you would have never guessed. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think the scene, it has a lot of talent.
Right.
Talent has never been a problem. A lot of time it be mindsets. A lot of time it is discouraging for people on the scene to look at the numbers of people that come to shows.
Yeah.
And then as a consumer, sometimes it is discouraging that the same people are putting on the same shows. You know what I'm saying? And the same lineup is at the same, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it ends up being this cycle. Because I feel like the scene is really good at lifting people up that are not from the city, or like that are not from the city and then come in, or people that are from the city and move out. Like, it'd be a lot of support there. It's a lot of support in the city, but the scene has its favorites. You know what I'm saying? Like, the scene has its favorites. And I mean, being one of the people that was in that seat for a minute, I think, because I got 2024, I guess, yeah, it was last year. I got booked for like 50, 60 shows, like, and they all came from, if not in the city, people that are from the city and like, you know what I'm saying? And, but at the same time, looking back on it, why am I performing in Dallas 50 times in the same year, performing the same set, the same album, this and that? We can mix it up. You know what I'm saying? And it's on the people that are in those positions to be like, yo, get this person, you know what I'm saying? Get this person, switch it up, do this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Give another, but at the same time, I understand as a curator, you don't always want to do a showcase. You want to do a show where you know people are coming, and you know what I'm saying? I get it. It's just, it's a lot to figure out. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to figure out, I think. But I love the scene. I'm going to always support it. I'm going to always go to the shows. I'm going to always, stream the music, share the music. Like, I'm going to always be here to support, help, lock in with people at any time. Like, I'm always game. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a certain culture, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's a known culture. People know. I mean, it's not a secret. People know and people have expressed. Yeah. But the only way you change it is if you also change what you're doing to add to that culture. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that changes. Yeah. Because changing a culture starts when the people within the culture start looking within themselves. You feel me? Yeah. You can't, like, no one's finna Martin Luther King this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we need to stop doing this, because No, like
Yeah.
I know Martin Luther King had haters, but not on this scale. Like I feel like if there was a Martin Luther King to rise up, no, we need to do this, it would be so much discourse around it. Like, no, we shut it in. Who are you to say da da da? What are your credentials? It's like, okay, never mind. I don't want a Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, but it goes without saying that this scene is one of the most talented I've seen ever. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so much talent out here. And it's just a mindset. You know what I'm saying? What do you want to be a hometown hero? Do you want to be in a stadium? Do you want to, you know what I'm saying? What do you want to do? And when you figure that out, let's make spaces for those different people in their goals. Like, you know what I'm saying? As a curator, that's where I would look at it. But I am not a curator. I don't make the events. I'm not in charge of this and that. And, you know, it'll be what it is, but the scene always got my love.
Yeah.
I'm saying always.
Yeah.
So personally, how do you stay rooted in the city without necessarily being boxed in by the city?
Leave the city.
Just leave the city. You did a tour. You did a tour
I think
all around the country. So
I think the tour is what broke me out that box for sure. I think because when the city really likes you, and now it's like, you're starting to like. It's like the city is doing this, and they're putting this little box together, and here you are. You're in the middle, and they're like, we like that.
we got you.
All right, here we go. And you realize like, let me let me weave this. But there's two sides to it.
Yeah.
Right? There is the scene that is in Deep Ellum, a lot of ruin shows, super talented scene. Then you got the other side of the scene where Dallas has so much money to give people that do music in Dallas. But that side of the scene will never see it. This other side, they are looked at as more marketable. They do more poppy things, but they have opportunities to do insane things. They are living off of this. They have health care as an artist given to them by the city. So it's like, why would we not, why would that not be one thing? And it's not. And I think once I saw that other side, I was like, oh, okay. This is a side where you get paid for every show. Nice. Maybe I should go over there. But this side, like, I think loving the crowd and all the friends that you make on a certain side, and when all of them come, like let's say 40 people come to your set at Ruins, and they're your homies or people that you met along the way and this and that, and that's such a good feeling. It's a beautiful thing. It's a family reunion. It's great. But converting new fans is going to push you to the next spot and put some money in your pocket and make this a career and not just a thing that you do on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? So when I realized there were so many fans to convert on that other side, it was like, okay, it's people coming into town all the time, just snatching up fans here and going to another spot. And when I went and met more people, and I think after that tour I got a good amount like of people that were interested in following just to see the journey and listen to the music.
Yeah.
Once I was able to understand that there's a much bigger, it's so many people that will love your music. There's so many people that love music that is not as good as yours. I mean, an obscene amount. So why would a lot of people not like your music as well? Like, it's cool. Family and friends is beautiful. And the homies in the scene is great. We must keep it alive. But if you want to convert new people, if you want to go bigger, if you want like real motion to start ensuing and coming in, you got to go get new fans. And you don't have to move out of city. You don't got to move to L.A., New York. People think that's a thing too. Everybody does that. You're literally running up on a spot where everybody's just trying to do the same thing you do. You're not special. It's crazy. But here, going other places, be like, yeah, I'm in Dallas. I'm only here for this amount of time, and then I'm going back. That stick with them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So leave. Yeah. Come back, but leave and change your mindset from having a gathering in the backyard to screaming with a megaphone to the world like, I am an artist and this is my shit. Like, this is what I do and you should like it because blah. Like, now listen to it. Boom. It's different. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I would all of that would be my answer.
Okay. Yeah. Hope they were taking notes. Hope they take some notes, man.
Well, you mentioned that there's artists you want to work with that you haven't yet. Is there any in particular that you can think of right now who you'd love to work with?
She gonna say I'm capping. Me and Breon long overdue. Yeah. She gonna say I'm capping, dude.
Yeah, gotta get on.
She gonna say I'm capping, but we are long overdue. She gonna say I'm capping. It's okay. I really want to work with. I want to work with Nino. I haven't gotten a chance to work with Nino. I ain't got a chance to work with Vaughn. That might be it. Like, I think I really want to. I think it'd be really fun to do a record with. I want to do a record with all of the women rappers that I just really like right now. Okay. Like, Ali got some shit going right now. Ali got some shit going.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. That's good stuff. Kia Abdul, I really want to work with her.
She's dope.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, yeah, man, I really want to lock in with them. And I want to produce for a lot of people in the city a lot more. I do not ever open up like just let me send you a pack, da da da. I really only produce when I have an idea and a feel. So I feel like the only time I'm able to produce for people is when like we're in session and they just get it. They're like, ooh, yeah, I get where you're going with that. You know what I'm saying? But to send something, I'd be wanting people to, like, this is what they normally do. I want you to do this.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll be hard. And it's like when Tyler, the Creator, put NBA Youngboy on
What's Your Name?
On What's Your Name?
Yeah.
Why is NBA Youngboy on that beat? But,
sounded amazing.
Murdered it. He did such a good job.
Crazy.
Such a good job. And it's stuff like that. Putting Babyface Ray on the Alchemist beat. Like, come on. That's golden. I love that. So I want to start doing that. Putting Earl Sweatshirt on a trap beat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy, man.
Yes.
For sure.
I love that. Like, let's do more of that. Rapping and trap flows over like improv jazz. You know, Frank Sinatra did not sign off on this. You know what I'm saying? And you were rapping hard. Like Chief Keef over this Frank Sinatra type beat. I want to do that. Mm-hmm. I really want to stir the pot like that in the city. But I have not had the time to be like, okay, this is the vision. Let me pitch it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're going to have to sit them down. But like,
I'm really going to have a conversation and like be like, okay, you need to do it like this. And then I have not had time to do that, but I really want to. Yeah. I want to do like a Dreamville Sessions type thing, but I don't want to rap at all. Yeah. I just want to orchestrate. I want to produce. I want some other producers to come in. I want to just do it. Yeah. Maybe I'll hop in for a 4-bar. Yeah. I just want to see it happen. I want to orchestrate. Yeah. But I think it's but I've worked with a bunch of people in this. I think haven't worked with that people are like, oh yeah, you should work with so and so. But yeah, I think I definitely want to get with. I definitely want to get with Breon, Nino, Vaughn. I think those are my top three that I want to work with. I just need it to make sense because everybody got such a distinct tone in that group.
Yeah.
In that group, like I don't even know how. Like me and Breon, I just know like crazy soul chop, hard soul, and we are just rapping. Like I love that. Yeah. That feeds my soul. Like you know, that'd be great. With Von and Nino, I don't know. We might need a ghost to produce the beat. I don't know. Yeah. Like it might be a. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something. Yeah, it's gonna be lit though. I'm excited. It'll be a good time. But
yeah, we need those, man. We need those.
Yeah, for sure.
So. They in the works, man.
Okay,
they're in the works.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Well, when it's all said and done, how do you want people to talk about Pierce Washington?
He had a vision, and he went and did that.
Yeah.
He had a vision. He stood on that vision. He never skewed away from the vision. It only got bigger, and he did exactly what he said he would. I work so hard on this, and I put in so many hours digging through the most minute detail of every single second of everything.
Yeah.
From the song to the flyer to the tour route to the set design, whatever, the merch, what outfit I'm wearing at whatever. It's all extremely intentional. And I don't think anybody would ever understand the intention or the what goes behind that, because I think that might be a lot. Yeah. Because it is, it's a lot. But I want people to be like, man, that dude really, he had a vision. He knew what he wanted in this. He knew what he wanted out of it. He went and he got it.
Yeah. He
went and got it, and he set himself up to go and get it, and go and get it again and again and again. Because that's what I'm working to do. That's all I'm working to do. And as long as that is apparent for people to see, there's no way but up. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
That's good.
That's well put, man. Yeah, for sure.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Well, what's next, man? What's next for Pierce?
I guess I could say it now because my tour manager said this. Just and shout out to the Dallas Observer because that got everybody excited.
Yeah, shout out to you for getting in the Dallas Observer.
Yeah, man, I've been in the Observer 4 or 5 times this year.
That's crazy.
Which is nuts. I think that's cool.
That's fire.
I say all the time, 2019, I had this whiteboard, or 2020 had a whiteboard. These are my goals: 100,000 streams, on my whole discography, and make one of those lists at the end of the year for the Dallas Observer. And I think I've made every one since 2022, and then this year just being in there a bunch, and they just did their summer playlist, and I made that Cousins on that.
Okay.
So it's that's dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think and shout out Esther, love her to death. She has made touring so much easier. But she announced that I was going on tour after the Observer thing came out with their list. She was like, yeah, big things coming for Pierce, tour on the way. And I was like,
well, there goes that.
I was like, you know what? I love you. I love you. I love your excitement. So we're putting tour together. That's next. That's going to be It's gonna be a lot quicker. It's only gonna be a month, but it's gonna be like 10 stops. Yeah. So we are just going, hitting the road. We're doing bands, multiple nights in big cities. Thinking about multiple nights in Dallas, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see about that, but can't wait. Love the venue. It'll be a great venue. First rap show at that venue, so that'll be cool. And, we're looking to... My goal this time around is a sold-out tour. I want the whole thing sold out. Yeah. No questions. I want it sold out before... we head out. You know what I'm saying? I want it sold out before it's all done. Yeah. So that's my goal. But yeah, we got that. The EP coming out mid-July. And I want to say another EP and like some cool collabs. I deleted my entire backlog of music. Anything that came out before 2022 is gone. Okay. So I did that to just kind of throw out some bait. What do people miss? Like what, Yeah. I've gotten some feedback, some voice messages, angry ones.
Where my song is?
Like, where's that? I went to go look at it. It's not here. So, yeah, I think I'm going to put that out as a compilation. Okay. But that just means 2-3 more rollouts before the year's. Yeah. And I think, like, my goal, and to whoever is listening, to whom it may concern, I think last or this year at the awards thing, the Dallas Entertainment Awards, I was not able to make it because I was like, I'm still in work mode. I'm doing other stuff. And I won the EP of the year.
Congrats on that, by the way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, man, because I feel like people do this for like Grammys and stuff. Like they make things with the intent of winning an award. Yeah. I'm like, man, if I just took a year to do like a bunch of different genres of singles and EPs and this and that, I could actually rack up in a crazy way. Let's do that. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. And then just don't submit anything ever again. But like go and absolutely Kanye it and go and like, I wanna like Kendrick with Not Like Us holding the, just to say I did it. Like, and it's not even from a standpoint of like, I deserve all of the da-da-da-da. No, but I think it would be a cool thing to just throw at the fan. Why not? Like, just experiment a bunch, and that gets the name out there and this and that. I think that would be an interesting experiment, honestly. To put your mind towards winning an award, I think it ups the disappointment when you don't win, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But it also ups the, like, gratification if you do. Yeah. Because I know with this one, I was not expecting that at all. I was like, people were calling me. I was like, oh, okay. Cool. Nice. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a scary thing for a lot of people to like be like, you know what? I'm going to put my mind towards winning everything. Like, let's just try it. And I know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is politics, and people come out with really good music in this city. Yeah. You very well might lose. That is what it is. It is what it is. But to expound, I think very cool music would come out of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if it were to do well in that arena, then hell yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. If not, the music is out there and people heard it. Yeah. I mean, we expanded, came out with a jazz record, did an R&B record, did some duos, like really tried to elevate the palette. You feel me? Yeah. So, Yeah, I was like, dang, that'd be cool. So maybe that.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we come up with some, I don't know, maybe there's a reggae song down in the works. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's do something.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot in the works, man. We're excited to see what you
Looking
got
forward to
going
all of
on.
it, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But before we get out of here, why don't you tell the people where to find you at, man?
I am Pierce Washington. Find me anywhere you listen to music under the name of Pierce Washington. Instagram at Pierce Washington. Twitter, which is now X, which is I'm never gonna just Twitter.
We call it Twitter.
Yeah.
At Pierce Washington. So yeah.
Pierce
Get at me,
Washington.
man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Keep it really simple for the people, you know.
Yeah,
Got to.
man.
Yeah,
got to.
Real uniform.
It's easy to remember. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If it's all the same thing.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
absolutely.
Check out Pierce Washington. You know,
Yeah.
Stream the music, stream COUS, stream
right.
Mama NEM. Check out the EP that's about to drop next month.
Yeah.
Run it up, man. Run it up.
Run it all up.
Yeah.
Appreciate
But hey,
y'all,
man, we
man.
appreciate you coming on, man. We had a great time with you.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all.
Of course.
For sure.
Of course. Until next time, guys.
Peace.